Hey everyone, my name is Michael Renick. I am your Florida West Coast real estate specialist. We spend a lot of time studying the market. I want to chat just a little bit before I get into the numbers. And the reason we do that, it's to give our buyers and our sellers a competitive advantage. There is no way we can do a good job without knowing exactly where the market sets. And I don't mean Florida wide. I don't even mean Sarasota, Manatee County wide. We have to dig down deeper into the area that my buyer or my seller is looking to transact business in, down to the condo association, the subdivision, whatever. That's how I can do the best job. Now, last week I produced a video with the latest information on the local market and at a high level, Sarasota, Manatee County, there was a major shift. We went from a multi-month buyer's market into what we have today, a balanced market. Will that hold? We're going to find out as time goes forward. But in addition to that, it's very important to take a look at the national market, because what's happening on the national scene is going to happen here in just a short period of time. So we have to stay on top of that. So what I have right here is I'm going to walk through the national information that I have. It's pulled together by a company called KCM, Keeping Current Matters. I have their permission to utilize the data that they pull together so that we can talk about and we can educate each other in terms of what's happening here and what we may be focused on down the road. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the foundation of a healthy economy. It's not complicated. You need businesses investing, hiring, and people spending money. When folks start worrying about job security or future layoffs, they naturally pull back on their spending. That hesitation ripples through the entire economy, and that includes real estate. When confidence drops, so do big ticket purchases like homes. So watching consumer sentiment helps us stay one step ahead of what's happening. Back in January, for the first time in nearly 2 years, consumer spending actually dropped. That's a pretty rare signal, and that's worth noting. That doesn't mean that we're heading for a crash, but it does suggest people are feeling the pinch. Whether it's inflation, it's interest rates, or just uncertainty in the world, and we know there's a lot of that right now, people are becoming more cautious. That kind of behavior can affect how buyers act, and it reinforces the importance of a smart strategy on both sides of the deal. According to Mark Zandi at Moody's, the risk of a U.S. recession has climbed from 15% at the beginning of the year to what they say is 35% now. Now, that's not a panic button, but it is a signal we're in a transitional period. In real estate, these moments create opportunity for people who understand the cycle. Timing, pricing, and preparation are everything right now. And when you work with a team that watches the market closely like we do, you're ready to move when others are frozen. That's the key here, is staying on top of what's happening with the market. We all see the headlines. Let's talk about them. I say it all the time. The headlines are built to terrify, not clarify. That's just how the media operates. They want clicks, not confidence. So when you see phrases like housing crash or recession panic, let's take a breath. The reality is often far more stable than the story. That's why my clients don't just read the headlines. They call me to find out what's actually going on behind the scenes, what really is the truth of the matter. Here's a stat that most people don't expect. In 4 of the last 6 recessions, home prices actually went up. That's right, they rose. Only in the Great Recession of 2008 did we see a true collapse, and that was driven by a completely different set of factors than we face today. They were driven by unregulated lending, overbuilding, and a wave of distressed sales. Today's market is built on much stronger fundamentals. So we can't assume that a recession means that housing prices will drop. That is, if we're even headed to a recession. Lori Goldman from the Urban Institute puts it perfectly. There's no automatic link between recessions and falling home prices. What really drives housing values are supply, demand, and affordability. And despite everything else going on, demand is still strong in Florida, especially in places like Sarasota, Longboat Key, Siesta Key. In fact, all through the 2-county area that I serve, Manatee and Sarasota. We have more people moving here, fewer homes being listed, and buyers who still want to make smart investments. They're out there. It's my job as your broker to find those. Another historical trend worth watching are mortgage rates. They typically fall during recessions. Why? Because when the economy slows, The Fed often cuts rates to stimulate growth. We've already seen rates come down a bit from their 2023 peak. If we officially enter a recession, it could push rates even lower, opening up new opportunities for buyers who've been waiting on the sidelines. That's why pre-approval and financial readiness are key right now. I'm not saying that we're headed to a recession. I'm trying to address some of the fears that my clients have shared with me out there. We're also seeing right now a surge in completed new homes hitting the market, the highest number since 2009. That's a big shift. For the past decade, we've been dealing with serious housing shortages on a national scene. Florida was a little bit different. Builders couldn't keep up, but now they're finally catching up nationally, and that gives buyers more options and room to negotiate. If you've been frustrated by limited inventory, this is your moment to re-engage. In fact, new homes now represent a much larger share of total homes for sale. That's the structural change in the market. Builders are stepping in where resale inventory hasn't kept up. And while these homes may come with a premium price tag, many offer builder incentives, rate buy downs, custom upgrades, all things that we can help negotiate. If you're looking to move for a move-in ready, new construction is definitely worth an option to take a look at. If we take a look at Mr. Cushy from First American, they nailed it. For over a decade, this country has underbuilt, and now for the first time in a long while, we're starting to fix that. More inventory doesn't just help buyers, it helps the entire market function more smoothly. It reduces bidding wars, creates price stability, and gives everyone a better chance to move at their own pace instead of rushing into something. So here's a question I'm asked all the time. What do we expect in the spring market? What's going to happen in the next few months here? Again, these are national statistics, but they're going to impact Florida. So this spring, inventory story is still one of growth. Listings are up compared to last year, which is a good sign. We're not quite in a buyer's market any longer. We're in a stable market in this part of Florida. It's moved into the balanced area. Is it going to stay that way? We'll find out. So if you're selling, this means pricing your home correctly is more important than ever. And if you're buying, it means you will have more choices and a little bit less competition. If you're ready to move fast when the right one comes up, you'll be in good shape. Looking at this chart, we see regionally southern and western markets, including many Florida metros, are leading the charge in inventory growth. In fact, 15 metros now have more homes for sale than they did before the pandemic. This tells me we're entering a more normalized market. It's not just recovering, it's rebalancing. And that's when good agents can help buyers and sellers win with smart, timely moves. March 2025 showed a 17.3% increase in listings year over year. That's a significant jump. More homes on the market means more sellers are more confident, and buyers have a real opportunity to compare and find the right fit. This also puts downward pressure on price in some cases, creating negotiable conditions we haven't seen in a while. It's not about who moves the fastest, it's about who's the best prepared. Looking at this slide, we see that April numbers show that trend continuing. Now up 18.2% over last year. If that pace continues, we could enter the summer with the most balanced market we've had in years. That benefits both buyers and sellers because buyers have more choices and sellers have real demand to meet. There's a market where quality, timing, and local knowledge matter more than ever, and that's exactly what we bring to the table. So when we look at this thing, as I said in the beginning, it's all about studying what's going on. That way, we're best prepared to help our clients no matter what side of the table they're on, a buyer or a seller. Here's what we know. We've got more homes on the market, stronger new construction, rate potential on the downside, and a buyer's pool that's still active. So if you're buying, the message is clear. Let's get educated together, get pre-approved, and be ready. If you're selling, make sure your pricing strategy reflects the current market conditions, not what was going on last year, but what's happening now. This is a moment of opportunity, and the right advice can make all the difference. To wrap it up, data doesn't lie. It doesn't tell, but it also doesn't tell the whole story. That's where I come in as your broker. I help you interpret the trends, understand what they mean for your unique goals, and make confident decisions in a shifting market. Whether you're looking to make a move this month or just keeping an eye on the horizon, I'd love to be your trusted real estate advisor. Give me a call. My personal cell is 941 400 8735. Let's make this the beginning of a conversation. Let's continue. Let's not make this an end. Let me know how I can help. Let's do a deep dive. Last week, I looked at the local market on a county basis. This time, we're looking more at the national market. Let's put this all together and go even deeper and see how we can help you out, whether you're buying or selling today, tomorrow, or maybe 6 months, or maybe even 2, 3 years from now. We can be of help. We'd like to be your partner. Give me a call. Again, personal cell. I want to be able to, I want to be available when you need me, not the other way around. That number is 941-400-8735. I look forward to hearing from you, and I want to say thank you for watching.